attention, Doobie. Pay attention. All right, welcome to the Disney Morning Show here on. What is that Glee 3DC? I ignored it yesterday, but what exactly is that?
It's a lenticular poster that I got from the theater. Becca swapped out my set decor.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. No one's stopping up. Actually, I stood up the Disney Trivia Live magnet back there, so that's a little bit of a swap
There
out.
you go.
Anyway, my name is Doobie Mosley. I am the co-founder here of Laughing Place and the host of far too many shows. The man over there is one of my best friends in this stream, Kyle Burbank, managing editor here at Laughing Place. How you doing, Kyle?
Friends in the stream, that is what we are. No
So
one
here's
in
my.
between. How can we be?
I love that song actually. Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. They should have got married. That would have been a nice couple between the chicken and the. Never mind. So here's what I discovered this morning. So I have three monitors here, and a mouse that can be kind of iffy, like it loses its Bluetooth sometimes. And so I'm moving the mouse, and I can't find my pointer, and I'm wondering, well, maybe it's not moving because maybe the mouse disconnected. And then eventually I find it. It's time for me to, I can customize that to get a larger pointer to make my life a little simpler. So I think that's my project for today.
This really combines like all of your issues. It's the mouse and the glasses and the.
Yeah, that's a good point. So time for a bigger mouse pointer. Anyway, hello to Nikki B, celebrating the Little Mermaid Classic Edition with today's image. Hello to Genie Plus Plus, celebrating Mickey Mouse. Farmer Mickey, I believe. We're here to talk about what's going on in the world of
That's
Disney.
probably at the wow, I just forgot the name of the restaurant, but it's in the Land Pavilion.
Garden Grill, that's right.
Yeah.
I hope so. Either that or DCA. Remember the Farmer Mickey show back at DCA back in 2001?
Kinda, but let me zoom in on that someday. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, it's Garden Grill. All right, so we're going to talk about what's going on in the world of Disney this morning. Got not a ton of news, but enough. And some really strange news this morning. But we will start the way we do every single morning with the look at Disney finances. So yesterday it had dipped all the way down into the 90s. Kyle, has it broken the 90 Mendoza line and gone
I
down
really
below
hope
90?
not. I don't want it to go down to the 80s, so I'm gonna say it's up or flat. But I'll say up.
Scroll. By the way, Little Mermaid, only 3 days away. 91.40. It's moving on
Oh, they
up.
still want me to listen to the thing that happened yesterday.
Do they have the replay there?
I mean, they might, but it's
Yeah,
still
they
just-
do. Yeah, the replay. Yeah, if you missed yesterday and you want to hear Josh, check it
It
out.
is a fan event now.
It's so weird how that is. It was not the case when we started doing this that anyone cared about those things.
No.
So I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like we paved that path for better or worse. All right, next up. Why am I clicking that? I have no idea what I'm doing today. Next up, we have this guy.
Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the LP Weather Report, and at normal time. It's so nice to have a regular schedule again. I hope nothing disrupts that anytime soon. If I may, I'd like to take this opportunity to plug my pal Kyle. He's currently participating in a 30-day YouTube Shorts challenge, meaning that he'll be posting new shorts every day through June 21st over on his Money at 30 channel. Today's Travel Tuesday video is about getting the best rates on foreign currency. So go visit Kyle at youtube.com/money@30. Okay, plug over, let's get to the weather. Anaheim will be mostly cloudy again today and will be a bit on the cool side with a high of 67. That's actually perfect for a Kyle pick of the day. Walt Disney World is looking at another pretty nasty day. First, they'll reach a high of 84 in the early afternoon that will feel like 90. After that, however, thunderstorms will move in and there's a chance of rain through the rest of the day. Moreover, there's once again a marginal chance of severe storms, including a chance for high straight-line wind gusts and large hail, so remain weather aware. Castaway Cay will be sunny today and top out at a real feel of 89. That sounds like a DPOTD to me. Again, Disneyland Paris is just above 60 at the moment, but that will fall as the night goes on. They'll get down to the low of 53 tonight that will feel like 50 due to breeze. Following a day of rain, Tokyo will be sunny tomorrow and make it up to 72 degrees. Shanghai will be overcast tomorrow, topping out at 70 with a low of 67. Lastly, Hong Kong will again see isolated to scattered thunderstorms throughout the day. This will keep the high around 80 degrees, but of course that humidity will make it feel far warmer. And that will do it for today's LP Disney weather report. Remember, it's 3 Show Tuesday with a bonus today. So I guess that makes it 4 Show Tuesday. Stay tuned for a park walk and talk with Doopster and the Seagull Plus Barely Necessities and DTL. Ring that bell to be notified when each of these stellar programs goes live. Bye for now.
I'd like to thank Ethan for taking a moment to plug our YouTube channel after taking several moments to plug yours.
It happens.
If you have a channel you'd like Ethan to plug, let us know. Send us an email to ethanpleasepluгmychannel@laughingplace.com and we will see what we can do. Yes, the seagull. Doobie and the seagull. I'm going to introduce him as that today. Thanks for the reminder. Thanks for the reminder, Ethan. I forgot I had a walk and talk today, so I appreciate that. Genie++ has a criticism. How doesn't care?
Maybe.
Will you at least pass the word
I
on
have
to
to
Ethan?
say, we had a scare with Ethan today. His programming was having issues. I
Really?
was worried that he wasn't going to be able to make it to air, but he did.
It would have been a shame because we were at our normal time today. We weren't early anymore. And
I know.
I like how Ethan is happy that we're back to a normal schedule. Nothing going to get in the way of that from here on out.
Nope. It's going to be a full week of shows with Ethan at 9 o'clock.
Is there going to be a full week of shows? I hope so. You're not going to do the show? So I'm going to be gone for the next 3 days. My presumption was Kyle and some other schmo would be doing this instead, but apparently we will be on a 3-day hiatus.
I'll look at that. Well, I guess we might, but
Okay.
it depends on the day.
Ring the bell.
I'm not going to
And then,
commit to it, but you never know.
And of course, next Monday we have Memorial Day, so I will be back next Tuesday. Anyway, let's get started with some news. We have this is always really, really big news for us here at Laughing Place, Kyle.
Yeah, so Guardians Happy Meal toys have, well, they might still be available depending on which McDonald's you go to, but they are being replaced by Little Mermaid 1. So there are 8 different toys. One's being blocked by an ad, but it's there. And you got Triton, Ariel, Scuttle, Sebastian, Prince Eric, the dog that I really should know the name of, Flounder,
Max. I believe it's Max.
Ursula. Max, yeah, that sounds right. They might have changed it for this movie. You don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, that's those 8, and they all got water theming. That one looks like a glass slipper.
Do you have a favorite among them, Kyle?
Probably the Ursula.
So what is this?
What is what?
The tablet thingy.
Oh, I assume it's just some game. I don't know if you actually need the. Like, I don't think there's actually like a chip in there or anything that's doing anything. This is just kind of. I'm so used to seeing this image at the top of the Happy Meal toy. I never really thought much about it.
So here's what confused me this morning. Before we were able to get this on our site, we were looking at happymeals.com because where else would you look for Happy Meals toys at happymeals.com? And I brought it up.
Happymeal.com.
Happy Meal, sorry. Maybe that's where I screwed up. And it brought up Guardians for me. And I'm like, Kyle, where's Little Mermaid? I see Guardians. And he goes, well, maybe it's your cache. And I'm like, how can it be a cache? I've never been at the site before. But anyway, I refresh. It's still Guardians. So I go to another browser, and it's Little Mermaid. So if all of you out there can please take a moment and go to happymeal.com and let me know what toys you get on your browser. I am so curious what's going on here. It almost got me frozen to the point where I couldn't continue with the show. But now on the old browser, I am getting Little Mermaid. Curiouser and curiouser. Genie++. Good morning, Rich. Thanks for joining us. We recommended people yesterday on Parks Talk. We recommended people contact you
Let me
for their travel needs.
Rest assured.
Is there any chance, even if we don't get shows, we can get like a tweeted Ethan weather report for the next 3 days?
Perhaps. I mean, I guess I could also do. I could do live premieres at 9 o'clock for Ethan weather reports.
Do it. And that's short enough for a YouTube short, so we could participate at least for 3 days.
I don't know if you can do premieres for YouTube shorts, though.
All right.
And it would have to be vertical. But I'll see.
Ethan can do vertical. He is rather vertical.
He is, but I'm saying, like, yeah, I don't know.
All right, let's get on. We got the Happy Meal toys theoretically available right now. Have we found them anywhere yet?
So Luke went to 3 different locations. One of them still had a Guardians display up. Doesn't mean that that's what they were actually providing. We did go kind of early in the morning though. He went at I guess it would have been 10 his time, so it was still breakfast. But two of the places he went to didn't have displays at all. So they're, I wasted an hour of payroll this morning, is what I'm saying.
So hear me out, Kyle.
Yeah.
Ethan does a weather report for the next 3 days. That's premiered. It does 10 times the traffic our whole show does. We no longer have to do this show, and yet we still get more overall traffic just from Ethan. Sam. All right. Our next big story today is not happy news, but expected news, and that is that the job cuts are continuing at the Walt Disney Company. The third wave of job cuts expected to be about 2,500 positions. And thankfully, this should be the last of the bulk job cuts, bringing the total to the 7,000 that Bob Iger announced. These positions are supposed to not come from any specific division, but Parks and Resorts and the television division should largely remain untouched. And this information is from the very reliable Deadline.com. Any further comment on that, Kyle?
Yeah, I'll say that the reason that they didn't expect television to be hit too hard in this one is because it was hit really hard in the last one. So the parks one is the one that hasn't really seen a whole bunch of disruption through all of this, which was also what we expected. They've seen some, but because they're not impacting the parks like the front line, like Josh said in yesterday's thing, that's kind of why.
So, of course, we're always thinking about all the people affected. And a reminder, those are job cuts, not necessarily layoffs. Some of those are open positions right now that won't be filled. So, for what that's worth, it's not 2,500 people that are about to be laid off, but it's still way too many, especially if you're one of them. And then in Paris, did you see this story this morning, Kyle? What's going on in Paris?
Yeah, the same thing that always happens, as Benjamin was saying. Yeah, lots of strikes. This are cast members striking on
Main
Main
Street.
Street.
I did not know. I knew they had strikes all the time. I did not know they had strikes on Main Street.
Yeah.
So this is from the Twitter account DLP Report. Imagine you're walking into Disneyland on your once-in-a-lifetime vacation, and this is what you get.
And the other cast members have to direct guests to the arcade.
I think they just came from Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival, and they're saying Indiana Jones was really boring, if my translation is correct. So they did have to actually have a parade cancellation today as a result. And I know they've actually, not the first time they've had to do that recently.
Yeah.
Had one more video I wanted to show. This one is apparently as they're leaving the park, and it's just wow. Can you imagine? Just a different country, obviously different labor laws. There have been strikes around Disney, but they always have to stay outside the property. But here they can do it. As I realize I'm not sharing the screen. Here they can do it right there on stage, and this is them leaving the park after the protests. Different. So France is the place where you can strike on Main Street, and yet they won't refill your Coke.
Can't refill your Coke. You can also probably smoke on Main Street, even though you're not supposed to. I've never seen anyone actually obey these smoking area laws or rules.
So interesting. Let's see what else is going on today. Some much happier news. Everyone's favorite princess, who is also in the MCU, Ming Na, with a very happy tweet today. If today were yesterday, exclusive to Variety. All right, that's not even the right tweet. That's not even the right tweet. There it is. Getting my star on Hollywood Walk of Fame next Tuesday, May 30th, 11:30 a.m. Still in disbelief, insane, thrilled to end Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month with this utmost honor. Hope you can come out and share this momentous day with me, my family, and friends. More info soon. So, congratulations, Ming Na. How cool is that?
Disney legend.
Disney legend, that's right. But not even though she's a Disney princess, she was not inducted in that princess class, that famous princess class. A few years ago, they waited and did her, I guess, in the MCU class. Have you been to the Hollywood Walk of Fame at all?
Well, I mean, I used to live around the corner for part. Actually, there might be some on. I lived on Franklin and between Hollywood, or sorry, I lived on Orange between Franklin and Hollywood. So I don't know if there's any stars along that road, but yeah, Hollywood Boulevard. And it's not just, it's a big thing. Like a lot of the ones that we see for Disney, because Disney sponsors it, they're all like in vicinity to the El Capitan, but it goes on for several blocks.
Is that something like when out of towners come visit you, like, yeah, you need to see the Walk of Fame? It's cool.
Usually people want to see a specific star. I don't think that people that I know necessarily just walk the whole thing. Like Aaron Wallace, when he comes to town, he needed to go see Amy Grant. And of course, they're doing construction. So he was walking just one little bit, including Amy Grant's.
Do you have one that you pay homage to every now and then? Or used
Not
to?
really. I mean, I do, walking by El Capitan, you see those ones. And that was,
Yeah. I can't even think I've seen a million of them, but I can't like picture any single one. Like,
you've
oh
seen a
yeah, I
million
got to see
faces and
that.
you've rocked them all.
Bon Jovi was at Universal Studios. It's not on our list for today, but since you said that, I'm going to share this tweet from John Bon Jovi, who is, I believe, Kyle's favorite of the Bon Jovi brothers.
I didn't mean to say it was a big deal. I was trying to say that it was a big stretch and that it's not just like some like little like mausoleum. It's like a whole.
John Bon Jovi here. Had a great time at Universal Orlando with family. Thanks for having me. Cool. What's your
He's
favorite
halfway
Bon Jovi
there.
song? And what's your favorite?
Living on a prayer.
So wrong.
Yeah.
The best Bon Jovi song is the one I can't think of the name. So quickly type in Bon Jovi songs and you see. No, not I'll Be a Bad Man. And then, oh, come on. This is pathetic. What's the one? Ding, 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 ding. Wanted Dead or Alive. That is the best Bon Jovi song. I'm a cowboy on the steel horse I ride. I'm wanted, dead or alive. Wanted. Mike Celestino yesterday wrote a really cool article ripping apart Lucasfilm and Disney. No, that's an overstatement, but it was a very thoughtful article critical of some recent things. Opinion: how Willow has eroded my faith in the Walt Disney Company as Lucasfilm's caretaker. I invite you to go check that article out. He's a little bit bummed over some of the stuff going on lately, but he had we talked a lot about this, even though it was Disney Parks Talk yesterday. We got a lot into the Disney Plus stuff just because, we all have opinions and you guys all know us, so we figured at least one person wanted to hear our opinion, so we got into it. But he had a paragraph here that, dang it, Doobie, be more prepared. There it is. So I'm just going to read this from Mike because I thought it was thoughtful. And anyway, as far as Lucasfilm goes, last year I'd hoped we were entering into a new era where the now Disney-owned subdivision would be allowed to spread its wings and explore new territory, much like George Lucas himself did with the company throughout the 80s and beyond. Instead, it seems as though Lucasfilm will recede back into the position of only churning out Star Wars, and not even at the rate we had come to expect from the first years of Disney+. Willow and the Galactic Star Cruiser were both somewhat experimental outings that I do believe could have found their footing with the right amount of attention and the proper marketing. That didn't pan out, as we know, but I'd really hate to see the wrong lesson learned from this, that Disney has to restrict its subdivisions to sticking with proven formulas and intellectual properties. There are only so many Toy Stories and Frozens that can be made. After all, at some point, somebody's going to have to come up with the next big thing, and the only way to do that is to experiment. So, yeah, they were in a... And perhaps that experimenting will return when the money returns, because right now the whole economy is having a tough time, not just Disney, but that is the sad position we're in. Since this is our last show for a while, or certainly our last show together before the actual May 26th, I feel like we should give it a name, the Great Removal or something.
The Purge.
The Purge on May 26th of Disney Plus. Any just more comments? Any further thoughts you have on that?
I mean, it's still frustrating, and the list keeps getting longer, so we'll have to see what actually goes away. But as far as the Star Wars thing, I just also wanted to say that it doesn't feel like they're taking many doing much experimentation with Star Wars either. Like I figured that when they talked about like this Ryan Johnson trilogy or all these other creators, that they were going to like finally venture out into like I don't think that they need to keep making movies or shows and then tell you where it is on the timeline. Like screw the timeline. There's all sorts of like other worlds that could take place whenever from people we never met. It's a huge galaxy, and it still doesn't seem like they're embracing that yet. At least not with the things that they've publicly announced.
So just not doing, considering they have this whole Star Wars universe as a background, they are just not doing enough to take
You
advantage
could make
of it.
something that feel like they were. That's why people, people like Rogue One. Yes, it ties into the other movies, and that's also partially what people like about it. But it was like a different genre, and they could do all sorts of genre things. You could do things that feel like Star Wars and are take place in that universe without directly tying to it or worrying about, okay, well, this takes place between these movies and this thing that you've seen. There's this tiny sliver that we have left of unexplored. It's like you can go way before, way beyond, or just during the same time, but so far away that nobody knew.
No, who cares? Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't done more of that in general. MCU did a little bit. I mean, Ant-Man, I guess, could be considered a comedy. And people like to say the latest Doctor Strange was a horror movie. I think that's a stretch to call it a horror movie. But even with Star Wars, they haven't even gone that far. I'm surprised they haven't.
Like
Why
Captain
not just make...
America, Winter Soldier, and then those are like political thrillers. Those are different as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they've gone much further than Star Wars. Why not just do, I mean, seriously, why would you not just try a straight out Star Wars based sitcom? Not a light movie that still turns out to have the end of the world consequences, but just a straight out Star Wars sitcom. I think that would be a fun thing to try or something like that.
Yeah, you don't have to. It doesn't have to impact the characters we all know and change our view of them. It can just
Right.
be. Yeah, I
Just in
agree.
the universe. Yeah. And you can even, have fun with it. Set it against the larger stuff that we already know. So while the Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi stuff is going on, we know all that's happening. But over here on this planet, these two guys are trying to figure out how to get along, as roommates where one is sloppy and one's very neat or something. I don't know. Anyway, the odd droid people.
Da-da-da-da.
I'm buying Mike a drink when he comes to Florida and welcoming him to my side of the fence. Tony Betty. Ah, Tony.
Just take him to Capone's. You'll never have to pay for a drink.
Tony's a dark person. Dark, dark person. All right. How about some happier news, Kyle? Are you a Hallmark ornament guy?
No. I mean, I like some of them, but I don't really. We have a Christmas tree. We don't always remember to put it up. But my mom usually gets me an ornament every year,
Right.
so I have.
I can understand choosing not to put it up. You just forget.
We're just like we don't get around to it. It's like, oh yeah, I suppose we should probably do that.
Shoot, it's December 26th. When did we forget this year? That's pretty funny. Well, the what do they call it? The Dream Book, which is the Hallmark Book of Ornaments, has come out. It's the 50th anniversary Dream Book. I gotta believe the women of Barely Necessities are going to be talking about this later today, so I'm not going to really go into it. But some of these ornaments look really, really cool. One of the things we do like to do every year is just go to the Hallmark store and see what ornaments they have out for the holiday season. And this one, come on, Kyle, reason enough to put up your tree this year.
Is that one that you put? I always did enjoy the best Christmas ornaments are the ones that you'd either like put a light in, or even better, you you take off the bulb and you plug it in, and it does like a train or something. So it'd be cool if that one you put the little light bulb in. And that's how you turn that part green.
Yeah, it would be. This one too. That would be great for that. I don't know if this is Leota Toombs or Jamie Lee Curtis, but it's pretty cool. Although I gotta admit, putting Haunted Mansion ornaments on a Christmas tree seems a little dark to me, a little Tony to me. I feel like those two
A
holidays.
little macabre.
Yeah, this is much better. You're a Peter Pan guy.
Peter Pan's Flight specifically. So yes, I like this one.
So hopefully check out Barely Necessities later today, 4 p.m. Pacific. More on that and other Disney merchandise from the week. Another item here. This is Universal. Are you familiar with This is Universal, Kyle?
This is you? No, I saw that they have like a new planning thing that they sent us an email about. Did not
Yeah.
venture too far into it, but yeah.
It's an unscripted six-part series that provides viewers with an entertaining look at what Universal Orlando Resort has to offer through the eyes of first-time visitors. This is Universe was the latest series to premiere as
Is
part
Bon
of
Jovi part of it?
No.
Oh,
Yeah, that would make sense, you would think, but no, they're not. It's the latest series premiere as part of Discover Universal's innovative storytelling platform, developed to highlight the must-dos, must-eats, must-knows, and how-tos of Universal's theme park destinations through engaging content that today's consumers crave. So this is the page, this is Universal, and you can see they have discovering all these various locations, and each one of these is a video you can check out. I want to discover the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. So let's see what happens when we discover that with audio.
Oh, the Hogwarts Express.
Oh, hi. Hi.
That was amazing. Wait, can we try?
Oh, yes, of course,
Okay.
yes, of course
What
you
was the
can.
line again? Give it to us.
All aboard the Hogwarts Express.
All right. You guys ready? We'll do it all together.
Let's do it.
From the diaphragm, Jimmy. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
The Hogwarts Express.
Oh my gosh!
It's
I
meant to
think
be like
these first-time visitors might be a little bit tainted by having special access to everything. Special experience.
that's the way you get second-time visitors. I feel like calling it unscripted is
Disingenuous.
unscripted. I mean, maybe not every word is written down, but these aren't just... Anyway, you can go check that out. This is Universal on their official website. But it's kind of fun. I don't know. There's something about it that's light and informal that feels like something Disney would not do. And so, 'cause Disney does do stuff, but they do their like planned Disney stuff, and it's much more serious. I like this idea.
And their travel, it almost feels like a travel video for Disney, but those would be a lot shinier.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Universal social media in general is very light and fun and just a blast to follow. Not surprised they do something like this. All right. Like I said, not a ton of news today, so let's move on to this part of our show. So we've got one today. This is from the TikTok of the one and only, Jim Cummings, who, yes, has a TikTok. Let's check this out. Share this tab instead.
So, Jim, I was reading an article that Winnie the Pooh is starting to go Hollywood?
Oh, that's ridiculous, darling. Hand me the caviar.
Yes, Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh. What gets me about those, I mean, I like the content, but just the fact that this guy has a TikTok account, it cracks me up every time.
Mac just sent me one, but I haven't watched it yet, so I don't think we should play.
You don't trust Mac?
Well, he sent it to me, not to us. It didn't say explicitly, play this on the show.
Okay,
So, no.
then we should not take that chance. Then let's move on to this. All right, Kyle, we've got some good ones today. Let me change my color back to blacks.
We stretched.
On this day, 1997,
Okay.
May 20. See, you could have just said May 23rd, 1997. I would know this because this date sticks out in my head. Apparently
I'm done.
not yours. Not yours. Disneyland. Entertainment.
Festival of Fools.
Electrical parade replacement.
Oh, Light Magic.
On this day in 1997, a spectacular journey began. This is the sign from Rebecca found this from our own picture archives in back, not digital, 1997. This was an actual print, and so this sign was animated and really cool. And we were so excited for Light Magic. Did you ever get to see it, Kyle?
No.
No, because it did not play very long. It was a huge flop, right? I think that's a fair thing to say. Some of the classic artwork for it used fiber optics on the street and Those huge floats that came on Main Street and stopped and performed, and some pretty cool music. The music still lives on. A lot of people like the music. You got it, Hope. Way to go. But wow, did that ever flop? I would love to somehow cosmically know the percentage of the flop was the quality of the parade versus the fact that it replaced the electrical parade. But regardless, it lasted one season and it went bye-bye. And Kyle never got to see it, which is tragic. Okay, on this day in 2001, Kyle, an attraction debuted at the Magic Kingdom.
2001.
Not a major attraction, but it's still there. But it's still there.
What land?
Adventureland.
Okay.
That should be quite enough for you to get this.
Is it Aladdin?
It is the magic carpets of Aladdin. Way to go, Kyle. Congratulations. By process of elimination, you got that one. It's not Jungle Cruise. It's not Tiki Room. All right. On this day, yes, Light Magic had some great music. Of that, there is no question. Can the flop ratio also include the lengthy show stops versus continuous parade rolling? I don't get.
I don't think you read that right. Can the flop rating also?
Technically, can the flop rating also include the lengthy show stops versus continuous parade rolling? I don't get that complaint about Light Magic. It's like, it's not even a parade, it stops. So what? It's a show that takes place on the street. That's what a parade is. The fact that it stopped and performed, I do not get why that was a complaint. Now, if one view was terrible and another view was great, that I get. But the show itself, the fact that it stopped itself, Lion King Celebration stopped, and people think, oh, that's the height of Disney daytime parade. So, y'all got no consistency, you Disney fans. On this day in 2005, the beta opened for an online experience that fans loved, but not enough to keep it around. Yes, Virtual Magic Kingdom beta, open beta on this day in 2005. Were you a VMK player at all?
No, I was. Well, I guess I wasn't that young at that time, but no.
Don't say I was 5. Don't give me that. I remember talking to a couple of people that really worked on this game and so excited about it. And it had some ardent fans. But it is no longer with us. On this day in 2010, this is a great one. Final episode of the greatest television show of all time.
Dog with a blog. Lost.
There is a dog involved in the final shot. That is correct. The final 2 episodes, the end, both aired of Lost. This is it ended like it began, with Jack's eyes first opening and now closing. Vincent right next to him.
All I know is that Hurley is the protector of the island.
You were a fan of Lost, right?
I've seen a couple episodes. Becca's a huge fan, so I've
Get
seen.
Becca out here. I want to talk Lost, and you can't even help me out here. Goodness. Rich, get out of here. MASH is the ultimate click show. Da-da, turn the channel. As soon as you hear those da-da, click, turn the channel.
But it's painless, Doopy.
Watching the show, is it? I've never seen an episode of MASH. It's just boring. The series that was titled after How the No, I will accept no lost, whatever the word is for talking negatively about something here on this show.
2010, so it's 13-year anniversary.
We just started watching yesterday. Rebecca can give me the exact name of it, but it's a fan-made documentary on how Lost came to be. It's like a 5-part documentary on how Lost came to be. Not like the show, just how it came to be a show. The first episode was great because it went all the way back to Michael Eisner taking over Disney and the issues with Katzenberger. I mean, this thing is deep, so I'm really enjoying it. Looking forward to watching the next few episodes of that. She put it on. I had no idea what she was putting on. She just put it on, and I was instantly hooked on this thing, which is rare for me in television. So,
have you seen This Is 40?
No.
There's a storyline in there where the one daughter, like the upper teenager, is binging Lost, and he comes into the room. They need to like get ready for something, and she's just crying. He's like, "What?" He's like they're dead. They're all dead. And he's like, "We don't have time for this right now."
Such a great show. Now I feel like being the anniversary, I need to watch the final episode today. Final two, the end. It ended beautifully. Love that show.
Tell Becca as well.
Yes. Watch it too. See, she and Rebecca can talk Lost on tonight's show on their Barely Necessities because they were both fans. Me, I'm left with you.
Sorry.
All right. Best part for me about the documentary we are watching is I learned about from Dark UFO, who was a great Lost source during the show's run. Oh, okay. Cool. So that's the channel you want to look for. I believe it's Dark UFO, and it is great.
I saw. I don't remember which. It ended on a happy note, but apparently it didn't turn out happy. But we saw it when we went to the Paley Fest event many years ago now, when we lived in Los Angeles. I think it was The Return. Is that the name of an episode?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
They took off on a boat.
I remember they did a Fathom event. I think it was Fathom or one of those things where you'd go to the theater but watch them, and it was with the creators. I think it was just before the final 2 episodes or final 3 episodes. No Lost disparagement. Lost is the greatest
Who's your
television
favorite
show
character
of all time. That is a great question. Let me get a quick
Nikki,
picture
Paolo?
of the Lost cat. Like Nikki and Paolo. No, man. If I'm going to go that far, I have to go to Billy D. Williams' character. Let me get a quick picture of the Lost cast so I don't forget anyone. You know, I really liked, even though she only lasted a couple seasons and was kind of hateable, was I'm so bad at this. Shannon. I really like Shannon, Maggie Grace's character. She wasn't a likable character, but I like her. I guess Sawyer is great. They're all so good. No, I'm gonna go with Jin, Daniel Day Kim, Jin, and their arc, Sun and Jin, was just so beautiful.
He gives
So,
me a
so
thumbs
good.
up sometimes
Where?
when I get questions correct on DTM.
Is that one of them, really?
I think so.
Okay. And our final This Day in Disney History comes from 2019. It was the final day of some Animal Kingdom entertainment.
I forgot that I had a guess, so I was like, "Yeah, that happened." What day? What year? Sorry.
2019.
Okay, so it's Rivers of Light.
It was the final day for Rivers of Light. The very next day, Rivers of Light, We Are One debuted, which is not the same, surprisingly enough. So,
Not the same, and it ended about as quick.
yeah.
Do you remember when Rivers of Light was delayed and they had Jungle Book Alive with Magic, and Benji has a T-shirt for it?
No, but thank you for that reminder. All right, thank you. The YouTube channel for the Lost Pilot documentary is Kupunkt, Kuhpunkt. Really good. I mean, to me, this is like Defunctland level, even though it only has like a few hundred views, because that's just, you never know on the internet, on YouTube, but it is high quality stuff. Check it out. All right, Kyle, quick check of the Twitters.
Yeah, we're early, so no stretching today.
Jungle Book show is
Wow,
probably the
worst.
worst Disney. Okay.
The worst.
So I didn't see it, but it was worse than Kite Tales, Luke? What's the worst show you've ever seen at Disney, Kyle?
Kite Tails, woo. That's a good question. I'm trying to think. I
I
don't
saw
know.
Light Magic.
I mean, if we're counting like the Disney Junior stuff, that's just not for me.
Uh,
I've seen those. So
it's a fair disclaimer. We've only seen the first episode, so I will attest that the first episode is amazing. Mr. Mike Newell loved Kite Tales. Luke says it was worse than Kite Tales. So that's saying something. I did see the Jungle Book show at Animal Kingdom that they had at the Theater in the Wild before they put in Tarzan Rocks. But that was a good show. That was not a bad show. All right. I think that's it, Kyle. Pretty short today. This is a 4-show Tuesday. 3 of them with
Show
me.
Tuesday. We're going out with a bang
goodness.
before you go away on vacation.
Kite Tales knew what it was and didn't try to be something more exciting. I think that kind of defines myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's me in high school.
How was your high school experience?
It was okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are like but yours was cool.
I stayed in my own lane.
You would do it again?
I mean, Under what circumstances am I doing this again? But yeah, it was fun.
I loved high school. Absolutely loved it. I wasn't particularly popular or anything. I just loved it. Yeah, we were talking about the temporary show they did on the water, right, before Rivers of Light debuted. Not
Yeah, it
the
was-
great show they did at Theater of the Wild.
Yeah, it was tying into the live action.
Right. Yeah. The one at Theater of the Wild was awesome. Everyone agrees with that. All right. So at 11 o'clock, in just a little over an hour, we've got a Disney Parks. We've got a walk and talk through Animal Kingdom, ironically. I'll be there. I'll be there talking to Jeremiah. Jeremiah will be the one in the park. Jeremiah, who for some reason disparaged the motorboat cruise yesterday. I can't even
You know
see
that they
why.
have a new animal in Animal Kingdom,
What do they got?
the seagull.
Yeah, Rebecca, if you're out there, can you make sure that seagull gets uploaded to the right brand for that? And then at 4 p.m. Pacific, we've got Barely Necessities, the Disney Merchandise Show with Rebecca and Becca, where hopefully they will talk a little Lost. And then at 7:30 p.m. Pacific tonight, we have got Disney Trivia Live, where our topics will be determined later today. And
I
then
assume
that'll be it.
be on hiatus for Saturday.
Yeah, that'll be it for me for a while. So those of you who don't like me, you don't have to watch me. I will be no,
doesn't
I won't.
like you?
I will
How
not
can
be on the
anyone
air.
not like
And the all again until next Tuesday. There will be no Disney Tree Live on Saturday. Pay attention to this YouTube channel to see if we do morning shows for the next 3 days. Kyle will may or may not, although hopefully we at least get Ethan. So make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, select notifications.
You know, normally if there's a lot of news, we do extra shows, but when you're gone, if there's extra news, it means we can't do shows. So it's a fun little
But not
catch-22 there.
true. You can most definitely do shows. Don't need me. You've got Tony. Everybody loves Tony here. If people don't know Tony, I feel like we should, since he might be here
No.
at some point during the rest of the
No,
week.
he's
And now,
at-
joining the show is someone very special. We have a mutual friend in Wally. He's the Doobster's favorite person on Earth, and he's a tub time extraordinaire. You know him, you may or may not love him. Here he is. Drumroll. Technically Tony.
I tried to stop him, Tony. Don't blame me.
All right, guys, have a great weekend. Looking forward to May 26th and see exactly what happens. It's going to be something.